Oh,
Hey everyone, this is the first episode of the Proper Podcast. I'll introduce myself. My name is Fadi, and there you go, Mike. It's your time to introduce yourself.
I'm Mike. I'm from America, as you can see.
Yeah, man. Proper nice.
Across from Friday over there.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Over there in Great Britain, man.
Yeah. Well, I live in the UK, but obviously I didn't grow up in the UK. I grew up in Egypt, so I've only been in the UK since 2011, and me and Mike actually interacted or met when I went to study in America. That was back in 2015, actually, when I went to East Carolina University for a year abroad there. It was quite the highlight of university for me, man. It was great. It was my first time in the States, and I quite loved it. Um, and yeah, we've been toying with the idea of starting this podcast, discussing various topics and issues. Obviously, we've not come up with any topics on today's episode because it's the first episode. Would like to welcome the audience.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll just be spitballing ideas off each other, pretty much just talking about
yeah,
things.
yeah. Let's
Talk
just
about life.
talk about life and what's going on in the current times right now, man. So
Um,
yeah, I mean, what do you wanna touch upon on this first episode? Obviously, we did like a very brief introduction. Uh, but what would you like to do, man? What would you like to say to the people that are gonna be viewing this?
yeah, well, right now, welcome. Hopefully, will be a sweet podcast later on in the future. And
Yeah,
maybe, you never know, maybe we'll travel with each other and we'll
yeah, man.
actually do podcasts in person. And
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
do
we'll
room as
reach we'll
together one
reach
day.
we'll reach heights. We'll reach Joe Rogan heights, and you never know. 5 years from now, we might be signed up to Spotify or something. Yeah, or
Yeah,
if they see the potential, they should sign us now. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's
Down the road, we'll have different guests possibly, and we'll get their input on things and see what
BK,
they.
be ready, yeah. BK,
Yeah,
you're coming on the next episode. BK is for those of you who don't know, I don't expect anyone to know who BK is. BK isn't Burger King. BK is Brendan, man. Brendan is one of the lads that I got to meet in America as well, and he's from Boston, but we met at East Carolina University again. So
yeah. He was my roommate,
he
and
was he was Mike's roommate actually. Yeah, yeah. What's BK up to these days, man? What's he doing?
well, last time I talked to him, he was working for I don't know for some company, but
Confirm.
I haven't talked to him in a while, which
What
should
what do
reach
you
out.
think? What do you think about the postgraduate um, routes that different people took? You know, when I obviously I went back home here in the UK, and I fell into an episode of almost, I don't want to say depression because depression's quite a big word. Might
Yeah,
have been. I just missed the liberation and the experience and being in the States, and just the whole atmosphere there. I was quite into, and then when I came back, everything was marginalized. Everything was quite tiny in
I
comparison.
know what you were going through because when I went and traveled abroad in Asia and stuff, when I did that 2 month backpacking trip in Asia,
Yeah,
and then I
man.
came back to America, and I was just like, ugh, it's like that kind of not really depression, but that like
Yeah.
that funk you get into.
This is weird though, because when I think about this is something is this feeling out of place, not feeling out of place, but when you go back to where you've lived most of your life after experiencing international travel and stuff, that feeling is strange because you feel like, to me, America is the place to be right now, but to you right now, you want to go and travel internationally, and you want to see other parts of the world. So I think it's just within our nature as human beings, is that you never know how good your situation is, or you know, you don't really count your blessings if you're at one spot and you've got aspirations to be somewhere else, but when you're back home, you're like, you know, you're like, what am I doing here? I need
Yeah,
to
exactly.
go out there. I need to see what's out there again.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not really satisfied. Is this something that you experienced? You know, are you what's your current take right now on you know, the situation with you being back home and kind of like, you know, with the current pandemic situation as well, that it's quite, we're all restricted from going places and at least across the borders. So what do you are you happy where you're at right now, or you're not happy?
Not at all. I wish I was out doing something somewhere else. I'm still at home, just chilling in my room, as you guys can see. And
Yeah, man.
so I wish I was out doing things, exploring the world. Life's too short to just be sitting here not enjoying life.
Mhm.
Got the fullest, and with this whole quarantine thing right now,
Yeah, that's true.
not going well. Which
That's very true, man. That's very true.
hopefully they'll find a cure or whatnot, or a vaccine, whatever you want to call it.
What do you think about this whole? What do you think about this whole coronavirus stuff? You know, obviously, the president of the United States at the moment, Donald Trump, has not to say anything, you know, politically incorrect, or not to talk about politics in this podcast, man. But he's
Yeah. Let's steer away from politics on the podcast because I do not know much about him. And
yeah, I don't know much about them either, man. But he's accused. You know, he's saying this virus is, you know, derived from China as a place, and I don't know what's your take on that. Do you think it's fair to say that, or do you think it was like just an incident that the world had to deal with, not to allocate blame like Mr. Trump did?
yeah, I don't think you should blame anyone. I think certainly started in China, but
Yeah.
it's the world's.
Have you seen the video when he was talking to that reporter, that Chinese reporter?
I don't watch the news. I don't keep
I
up.
wish we can bring it on here, but we can't.
Yeah, copyright issues, man.
Quite limited. We had a few. We had about half an hour trying to set up this meeting, man.
We're not the best tech savvy people out here.
We're not at all. But this is hopefully going to change in the future. So yeah. So I mean, my personal opinion on this whole pandemic thing is it's just, it's not the first time in mankind that mankind has experienced any you know, any severe issue like that. You know, when you look at different events that took place throughout the history, like, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, even before our lifetime. I mean, I'm only 27. The things much worse have happened, and maybe didn't have as much medical advancement, or, you know, we didn't have as much knowledge of how to deal with. I mean, right now we really don't. What's your opinion on people having to wear masks out in public? Although it's medically apparently it's been proven that masks do not limit, you know, the spread of the virus.
You know, I think it's not for, well, it is, they say it's for your protection,
Yeah.
but honestly, I think it's for other people's protection also. So if I may feel safe without wearing one, but then going to a store and I might walk past an 80-year-old man or lady, and
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
more prone to catching the
So
virus.
you do it. So when you do it for the comfort of others. You don't do it because you feel like the virus is gonna be transmitted to you because you haven't got a mask on. You do it because you're conscious about what others' perception of it is, and how they get like paranoid and terrified.
Yeah, it's like the new norm in America now. So if like you don't have one on, then you're the weird one.
Yeah, it's bad news, man. It's same here. It's same here, really. It's you can't go into any any like public places, like any like shopping centers or anything like that, without having one on. So, and actually,
because in America they said, like, I was at the grocery store the other day and it on the front door it says masks are required, but then when I was in the store there was two guys not wearing a mask, so they don't
yeah,
really enforce it.
yeah, I don't know. Like some people obviously have the theory that when you're like that obedient to what the governments are telling you, and what you when they tell you do something, you blindly do it. I'm much like you, Mike. I wear it in respect to, you know, to people that are actually, you know, quite concerned, you know, people that are quite vulnerable and, you know, susceptible to catching the virus. So I don't personally believe that. Just again, not that I'm a medical expert or anything, but I've heard like it doesn't, you know, it doesn't do much prevention
Right.
in terms of limiting the transmission or lessening the chances of catching the virus. But yeah, that's about it really. And
Because since I'm still living with my parents and stuff, and they're older, so like I don't
true.
virus and bring it back to my parents, who maybe they won't be able to.
Yeah.
Keep.
How are your parents coping, and how's the family? What are the general thoughts of what's going on at the moment? Are they?
They're both at home. Well, the office is closed, so the dad has to work from home and stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom is hurt her knee, so she's not working at the moment, so she's staying at home. So we all just kind of stay at home and all hang out and chill. But
Yeah.
it's my mom in the medical field, so she has more thoughts about all this more than I do.
It's something that probably close to what she does, and what she had like close experience with. So yeah, I'm much in the same position. I mean, I live at home as well, and there's very little movement, you know, in terms of you know, going outdoors and doing different activities, and it doesn't help, you know, doesn't help your mental state when you're stuck at home most of the time, and it doesn't do you any well. But it's just strange times that we're all in, and we have to work collaboratively to, I guess, to reach you know, a desired outcome.
Maybe we'll get a medical professional later on the podcast if this pandemic's still going on.
Who do we get? Who do you suggest?
A nurse or a doctor or someone.
A nurse or a doctor. Yeah.
Maybe Evan. Evan's an EMT, I think.
Evan. Yeah, I know Evan from. Evan is one of our boys from 8th floor Clement Hall, East Carolina University. Shout out. Pirates, man, Pirates.
Yeah.
Purple and gold.
Yeah. Purple and
yeah.
Gold. Nice.
What do you think of the academic system in the US? Is it something? Because I know you went to what did you do in college, or what did you study? What did you major in?
I studied parks and recreational management.
And what does that involve, or what career choices does it give you when you graduate?
Well, they mostly taught us like municipality parks and rec, so like we would run like little league soccer leagues or little league baseball leagues or something, which I didn't think it was going. I did not want to go that route, and I wanted more of the park situations. So I wish they taught me more about like national parks and national forests and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I did do that stuff. Like after I graduated, I went out to California and I was working with those wildfires and stuff. So I kind of did that. Kind of used my major, kind of not really use it.
Yeah.
But,
so the job that you went into actually didn't require anything that you did at university. Yeah.
No.
And I think this is a disaster, man. This is something that's undervalued, and something that's not being not being regarded at all. Like, for example, when I went to university here in the UK, I did international business and management. It was quite vague. I didn't learn anything about what tools you would need to use, or what actual what it was all theoretical, and there was nothing practical about taking anything that we learn and taking it into an actual like corporate working environment. Or because at the moment I work in at banking. I work as within the procurement function, so it's within the supply chain side of things, and what I do involves dealing with different suppliers, the bank, and managing stakeholders at different levels and stuff. But then the technical element of carrying out the job and using, for example, things like Microsoft Package and I don't know, like different things that are quite vital to use, and things like time management. There's quite a few variables that impact how I carry out the job, and none of that actually have been taught in university. And it's a very sad reality that there's a massive gap, I think, in academia between education and educational institutions and going out there and getting a job. So I think I'm out here. I'm in debt. I'm actually in debt right now.
I know.
Are you in debt? How do you finance university in America? If you go for like say for just a middle class, or a upper middle class, or someone within that financial position, how do you finance university? Like, how do you?
Loans, and you're in debt, and a lot of us college students are in debt. They're in debt for.
Are you in debt right now?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I paid it off. Yeah.
You paid it off.
Yeah.
That's a good position to be in. I couldn't do that. I hail you for that. But then again, it just makes me wonder now that I got into. I work at an international bank, and like a lot of people that I speak with, they've taken different routes. I mean, by no means I'm regretful of taking this. I'm proud of my accomplishments, and I'm proud of of being an immigrant, coming here, studying, excelling, using my second language, and and succeeding and stuff, and thriving, and everything I did, I'm quite prideful of. But I'm just thinking, maybe if I were to go back in time, there were plenty of alternatives to take. University wasn't the only option.
Yeah. Cheaper options out there.
Yeah, there are cheaper options, and they all lead to the same destination eventually. So
yeah,
it's I mean, no regrets at the moment, and career-wise, I'm happy. I'm happy currently where I'm at. It's been a good a good ride so far. I did struggle, obviously, making it into this corporate environment, or like getting a job that I could use my degree to get into, which again, the degree did help in securing the job, but then there's nothing to implement the degree I did. It was all like general information what I learned at uni. So I'm happy where I'm at, but we'll see how life, how things go down the line,
Yeah. All experiences.
It's all experiences, man. You can't figure it out until you actually partake in it. So you can't figure out what you want to do unless.
What I want to do.
Are you still thinking what you want to get into right now? I mean, right now, I know you told me that you're not at the moment. You're taking is it a career break you're taking, or are you actively looking out for jobs, and what kind of stuff are you looking for?
Because I broke my ankle, so I'm still healing from that.
How did you break your ankle? Tell people, tell our audience how you broke your ankle, so they can prevent going through the same stuff.
Yeah, so out on the boat, 4th of July weekend, American holiday for people don't. And yeah, so jumped off the boat, hit the water was a little too shallow, and came down real hard on the ground and fractured my ankle in 2 places. So I'm finally out of it now. So now I'm just in like an air.
So what, you
for,
jump, did you jump like feet, like obviously feet first, you jump with your feet first, you hit the ground?
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't dive. Then I could have broke my head and broke my neck, and that would have been a lot worse than my ankle. So
yeah, it's good. It's good that you have that perspective. It's good that you have that perspective that you, even though it's a shit show, it's a bad situation to be in, but you're still looking at the positives, which is great. Not a lot of people do that. A lot of people always,
I'm supposed to start a new job too. That the following week, and then I couldn't start because I couldn't walk.
What job was it going to be?
So it's for a retention pond company. So they're big down south in America. So like the water, we don't really have drainage units. So all the water just runs down the ground into these big ponds. So we just maintain them pretty much. We keep them up to date and make sure they're not overgrown or anything, and put chemicals where there needs to be. Keep the bad plants out, keep the good plants in, and other stuff.
Yeah,
soil samples.
That sounds interesting. That sounds quite interesting, actually.
If they still hire me, which who knows? Because
why would they not hire you? Because of a physical, a temporary.
Not so much, just because they might have needed to fill the position, and I was hurt, so that position might not be open when I'm ready to go back to work. So
have you been in contact with them? Have you told them?
Yeah, I called them a couple of weeks ago to keep them updated on my situation. So I'll give them a call because I go back to the doctor's next Friday, and hopefully he'll clear me for work. And then
fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll give them a call and then see. So I'll update all you on the next podcast.
Yeah, well, we want everybody to send positive vibes and prayers to Big Mike, making it through and getting back to doing what he wants to do, work wise. And hopefully
make some money.
He'll have that position, man. Make some cheddar, make some dough, man.
Make some dough so I can go to proper England, man.
So he can come through, man, and be happy to host you here in the UK, man. Like you did. I must say, when I was in North Carolina, I found the reception to be great. I've met quite a few people, and I've still got strong ties with a lot of people. This is something I quite admire about my experience and the people that I cross paths with. And I'm happy. I'm glad for that. I'm quite
proper nice hospitality, man.
Proper what, man?
Proper nice hospitality.
Proper nice hospitality in the South. I don't know about other parts in America, because I've heard different stories about that. Apparently, certain parts are more hospitable than others. So,
sure.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Apparently, so. So I guess that's a good introductory session. How long we've been on now?
I know you're recording.
I'm recording, but it's not telling me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't tell me how long we've been on for. I guess it was just a little icebreaker. We know each other, but we wanted to introduce this proper podcast. We're gonna call it the proper podcast. We might be weekly, it might be bi-weekly. It depends on.
Well, you can only find it on YouTube so far, but stay tuned for other platforms.
Other platforms as well, yeah. That's a good shout. I don't know how to.
Yeah. We need to become more tech savvy and stuff, and then.
Yeah, we need to get the right stuff, the right equipment.
We'll get there.
We'll get there, man. But it's just two guys, having a chat, kicking it, chilling, man.
Bring some other friends on sometime.
Bring some other friends, some old time, some North Carolina people from North Carolina and people from the UK, and we'll start preparing. Let us know what you want us to discuss as well. You know, let us know what's on your mind. Yeah, what's on your
We'll put our
radar.
expertise to it.
What's that?
We'll put our expertise on that topic and we'll that topic.
There's no expertise, man. It's all everyone's opinionated. Everyone's opinionated. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. You don't have to be an expert.
Our personal expertise.
Our personal expertise, man, with the journey of life. I mean, we're well versed. We've traveled. You know,
Yeah.
we got different takes. We got different takes on different things, man. Different takes on different things, and yeah. So yeah, maybe next week we'll pick something to discuss. But in the meantime, thank you, Mike, for your time. Thank you for coming on today's podcast, and as always, stay proper, man.
No, man, you're saying it's your podcast. It's our podcast. So
thanks for coming to the podcast. It's our podcast.
Papa, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Really man. Proper. Sorry, it took quite some time to set up the meeting, but we got there in the end. Let's see how easy it would be to upload this into YouTube now.
Yeah, bad man. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, man. So I mean, right now we're gonna leave you guys to it, and have a blessed week, and stay productive. You know, stay strong, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next proper podcast. I mean, date to be confirmed, but yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, man. Proper nice.
Proper safe, man. Proper take it easy, man.
Yeah, man. You too, man.